Hello and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. It is a special day in the studio. We have the fabulous Sasha, circa Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy fame. Welcome.
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
Yay! So tell us a bit about your channel.
So my channel is around a part of fan culture that is called shipping. For those who don't know, it's pairing characters together in relationships, usually romantic. It's all in good fun. Sometimes things get a little serious, as you'll see in this list, but it's a good time. So if you're interested in learning more about that, come on over.
Come on over. I subscribe to Sasha and it is all of the good stuff, my honeys. So today, just for you, we're gonna do a shipping special.
That's right, we're gonna do the top 10 most controversial fan couples.
Ooh. Starting things off with a pair of ladies, we have Swan Queen. So this refers to the Regina and Emma feud in Once Upon a Time. Emma Swan and the evil Queen have come to blows many times over Regina's adopted son and Emma's maternal son Henry. The women are starting to become friends and now fighting on the same team, whilst both remaining relatively unlucky in love with men. There is a strong core of Swan Queen shippers and Once Upon a Time fans who think that the pair could balance one another out very well romantically. They could fulfill what each of the powerful women are missing in their lives. For example, with Robin Hood sadly gone and Hook's fate constantly in jeopardy, perhaps they will find solace in one another. Also, this way they would never have to argue over Henry, they could just accept they were one big family.
Up next, and at number 9, we have Olicity. So contrary to popular belief, a ship can actually be happening in the show itself and still be huge in fandom and cause controversy. One such ship is the aforementioned Olicity from the hit CW show Arrow. This is the pairing of title characters Felicity Smoke and Oliver Queen. Built up from early in the first season, the tension between these characters had many fans hoping they would get together, as many came to partially watch for this dynamic. And the show definitely played off of the will they won't they aspect of their relationship. So many fans rejoiced when they actually got together. However, that joy was short-lived by some, as many came to feel that the focus on Olicity was destroying the show they had come to love. For some, this became a case of too much of a good thing, and they felt that the show had lost focus, with numerous articles being written as to that fact, and in fact some people just feel that the character of Felicity simply needs to die at this point. That's how intense it's gotten. This is not the only show to face the accusation that romance has moved the show away from its core message. Another show to face this complaint is actually the aforementioned Once Upon a Time, with its canonical flagship Captain Swan, that being the pairing of Captain Hook and Emma Swan. So is this the case of divided fans, or has the show actually gone too far? One thing is certain, fans' enthusiasm definitely had a hand in pushing this couple to the forefront, for better or for worse. Depends on your point of view.
Next up we have one of my personal favourites, we have Fuffy. Buffy and Faith have had their issues in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but when they first met, they got along well. A touch too well, some say. By the Bad Girls episode of season 3, Faith was coaxing out Buffy's inner badass as they did some pretty raunching dancing together at the Bronze. The pair kick ass and party, and it's kinda hot. Faith leads Buffy astray and many fans were thrilled. It all goes wrong when Faith takes things a bit too far for the morally superior Buffy, but even as enemies, it is hard to deny that the pair have a certain sexual tension. For example, their epic girl-on-girl fight in the Enemies episode is pretty fraught with some kind of sexy undertone. Then later on in the series, the pair switch bodies, which is very interesting. Faith seems to really be enjoying being in Buffy's skin. Buffy has had some seriously dull boyfriends, so I think I could definitely ship her and Faith, who is very undull.
Next at number 7, we have a pairing known as Lapidot from the hit television show Steven Universe, a show largely about tolerance, love, and acceptance even for your enemies. The show centers around the titular Steven and his relationship with the crystal gems who have raised him, his father, and other gems, both friend and foe. Two ex-foes on this show were Lapis Lazuli and Peridot, characters with a fraught history who ended up moving in together in a barn. Some fans found the two simply too cute to not pair together, and art and fics abounded, while others felt that their negative past would belly any kind of relationship, or of course simply didn't care and wanted to watch the show unfold. But that all sounds pretty normal. Well, normal for fandom anyway. So what's so controversial? Well, one of the storyboard artists from the show, Lauren Zook, posted some sketches of Lapis and Peridot to her social media, and fans of certain rival ships, as well as actual Lapidot shippers, were livid. There were claims that the artist was part of a queer-baiting conspiracy, teasing a couple for viewership with no intention of giving them that couple on the actual show itself. Others felt that she was showing bias towards certain characters. It got so intense that the artist actually deleted her social media after several posts detailing how she was simply a fan of the show and felt horrified that strangers felt entitled to harass her online and demand things from her. And for those who keep up with this fandom, they're probably aware this isn't the first time bullying in this fandom has run rampant. Alas, of course, all fandoms have good or bad parts, but some have better or worse reputations than others.
Next up, a ship that Sasha herself did a really good video on that you should definitely check out, we have Dramione. It is a tale as old as time. A boy is mean to you, so he's probably into you. I mean, they're not totally wrong. With this logic, Draco Malfoy and his arch nemesis Hermione Granger of Harry Potter are a popular but controversial ship. Could a Gryffindor ever fall in love with a Slytherin, or vice versa? According to Dramione fans, they could. I think the reason why fans are so attracted to this ship is because of the star-crossed drama of it all. A rich boy from a long line of wizards and muggle haters is of course going to despise the muggle-born witch Hermione Granger, especially her know-it-all attitude. That is, until he starts to secretly admire her. She is one of the most intelligent and talented witches he knows, and it wasn't all just given to her by her bloodline. She is witty and happy to challenge him, unlike the many girls in Slytherin House who simply swoon over him. From Hermione's side, she is infuriated by Draco, until she starts to see his softer side. Realizing he is misunderstood, she starts to fall for him. I think the Dramione love story would have added a much meatier love storyline to the Harry Potter series, probably better than Hermione and Ron. For me, it's Dramione all the way, even just for the fan art, which is pretty on point.
Next up at number 5, we have Nick and Judy from Zootopia. Zootopia garnered much acclaim for its mature themes worked into a children's film that in no way compromised the fun and upbeat tone of said film. Yet, as we all know, children are not the only people who enjoy works that are ostensibly marketed to that demographic. A fair few adults found themselves enjoying this film as well, and some of their enjoyment fell into the realm of fandom that enjoys cosplaying, art, and of course, shipping. What makes this ship controversial is that a fair amount of fics tend to take a more mature or sexual turn, and not everyone is comfortable with that pairing of adult sexuality with a children's work. Some in fact fear that it verges on predatory, while others are in the firm camp that these works are for other adults, not to lure or groom children. More still simply wonder, why are people bringing these elements to a children's work in the first place, as those not already in this mindset often have a hard time placing themselves there. Another element that comes into play is the fact that the characters in question are animals. While many see a keen appreciation for animated characters, others see zoophilia or worse, bestiality, linking these art and fics to an actual sexual attraction to animals, which is a rather large extrapolation, but alas an understandable one from someone on the outside looking in. People on the outside looking into fandoms often fear deviancy, but in reality it is a very small percentage enjoying and producing the works for that purpose. The majority have simply developed an attachment to the characters, who just so happen to be animals. As with most of these ships, both sides are easy to understand, either for the discomfort or appeal you find in either. But of course, if you ever come across a work that you feel is really concerning to you and you feel the creator has ill intent, there are avenues to report such works, but bullying is never the answer.
Coming in at number 4, we have Jon Snow and Sansa Stark. Ooh, now this is a previously controversial Game of Thrones ship, but it is now seeming more likely as the plot thickens. Now that we know of Jon's true lineage, we know that actually he isn't as closely related to Sansa as we would have thought. He is not her half-brother, instead he is possibly her cousin. Back then, it was pretty appropriate to marry your cousin. I, like many, actually think that Jon and Sansa could be a good match. They have never really treated one another like brother and sister, and they both do come to one another's rescue, especially in the 6th season in the Battle of the Bastards. If they were paired, then the King of the North could take a rightful wife to be the Queen of Winterfell, and doesn't Sansa deserve it? Of course we need to see the end of Littlefinger first, but who wouldn't enjoy seeing Jon Snow wipe that creepy grin off Peter Baelish's face? There has been plenty of fanfiction surrounding their shipped romance, with many theorizing a Stark Targaryen union could be in the pipeline. After all, we do know that Jon likes redheads, so
while Rebecca mentioned that last pairing isn't incest anymore, let's move on to number 3 with a pairing that still most definitely is. Talking of course about Wincest. Supernatural is a juggernaut of a show that many would argue at 12 seasons has gone on for too long. However, it still has a dedicated fan following and some charismatic actors who know how to work social media to keep people dedicated and engaged. The fans of this show actively participate in many aspects of fan culture, one of course being shipping. However, for those who watch the show, they may be aware that there aren't that many characters, so who exactly are we pairing together? Well, while the dominant pairing now is Dean and the Angel of the Lord Castiel, before there was Cass, there was Sam. That's right, his brother, in a ship known as Wincest, that became so large the show itself got meta and acknowledged their perplexity at this ship. As for what makes it controversial, well, they're blood relations. So yes, that makes it full-on incest. Incest in fiction is controversial enough already. In fanfiction, it can run the gamut from understood as fiction to utterly reviled for glamorizing or portraying a questionable moral value. This idea makes many uncomfortable, understandably so, but also has a fair few defenders, who feel that this is all just fictional and no one is being hurt, so where's the problem? It all depends on whether you view your fictional works as escapist or representative. Not that those are the only two options. The world of fandom is large and bubbling over with excitement as well as conflict. Where you fall depends entirely upon your worldview. Still, Wincest is not for everyone, and it's easy to see why.
Taking things out of this world to space, we have another ship that Sasha did a video on. We have Kylux. Kylux refers to Kylo Ren and General Hux from the First Order in Star Wars. The SWA fandom often refers to this pairing as evil space boyfriends, which couldn't be funnier and more on point. Like, I really want an evil space boyfriend. The pair vie for the attention of evil First Order Overlord Snoke, pairing them as rivals. The pair have a clear history beyond the movies, which have inspired many fans to suspect that they may have been romantically involved, or even be in a secret relationship. Many think that their juxtaposing characters, calm versus aggressive, would make for a good couple, with some, like Sasha talks about in her video, reading a BDSM sub vibe to the whole affair. Interesting. I for one absolutely cannot wait to see what episode 8 has to offer. Are we gonna get a good helping of Kylux? I kinda hope so.
So far, all of the couples we've heard have had one thing in common. They're all fictional. But going into number 1, that is about to change. In the number 1 spot, we have Septiplier, a YouTube couple that has never been, but that many fans wish was. This is the pairing of two of the top gaming YouTubers, Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. These two seem to have a fairly friendly relationship, and some members of their fan bases, rather than having a rivalry, have felt that the two have a romantic chemistry, and have thusly paired them together, featuring all of the usual trimmings: art, stories, and in this case, since it's YouTube, messages to the creators directly. So what makes this controversial? Well, it's the fact that these are real people with real relationships. Now, it can be said that it's no different than pairing regular celebrities or caring about relationships, say in a tabloid or gossip magazine. However, the difference in this day and age, particularly on YouTube, is access. It is possible to project all of these fantasies and thoughts at the individuals themselves. Some people don't mind this, but others view it as a gross invasion of privacy, and it actually makes them pretty uncomfortable. In the cases where real people are involved, personal feelings of those individuals need to be taken into account. Sure, everything can be in good fun, but we've all seen things go a little too far sometimes, especially when you can access a creator directly.
That is so interesting. I'd love to hear real life ships as well. I met Markiplier in real life, never met Jacksepticeye, but Markiplier has a really nice girlfriend, so I don't know. Will she step aside?
For Jacksepticeye. We'll have to see.
We will have to see. Thank you so much, Sasha, for joining us on Most Amazing Top 10. It's really been nice to do something a bit different.
No, and thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
All of the fun right here, but if you want more fun, then head on over to Sasha's channel, Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy.
And of course, stay right here for even more amazing top 10s.
Fantastic top 10 list. And also, if you are shipping anyone, let us know in the comments section down below.
I know some people are shipping you and Danny.
Many people are shipping me and Danny. We'll leave that one as a mystery. So, this has been Most Amazing Top 10. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and of course, subscribe to our fabulous channel. And hopefully we'll see Sasha again soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
Bye!